Teachers, hello. I bet you're wondering how I plan my lessons on italki. Well, I actually made a little YouTube short about a month ago, and the lovely Haone, who I was privileged enough to sit down for an interview with, requested that I make a video, a longer form video, explaining exactly how I go through this process. How do I plan a lesson, and what does my lesson consist of? More specifically, Haone wanted to know about how I go through the task, teach, task methodology. All right, so I'm going to be talking about that today. I'm going to be talking about my task-based learning teaching, my TBLT background, and I'm going to hopefully give you all a little bit of insight into how you could plan a class on italki, on Preply, on Amazing Talker, or whatever other platform you're on. So hit that subscribe button. Let's dive in. All right, folks, so I'm sure most of you know me, but in case you don't, my name is Ryan. I've been a professional English teacher for 5 years. I've been able to teach in 3 different countries, and I love helping teachers help their students. That means I give tips to language teachers online. It doesn't matter the language, as long as they could understand me. And one other thing that I do is I develop curricula. I develop resources for teaching. You can find them all on my Patreon channel, and that's the reason why for this video I'm going to be offering free lesson templates to you all on my Patreon channel so that you could get a better idea as to how I plan my lessons. Another thing, I'm an italki teacher, and I have taught on Preply as well, but I also teach group classes. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I plan my classes, and I'm going to be showing you a live demonstration with a real group class, which I have used this kind of methodology with. So my teaching has been heavily influenced by TBLT, and before we move on, I'm going to talk a little bit about the methodology and the research. If this part doesn't interest you, just fast forward to the next chapter where I talk more about how I actually plan my lessons. But I feel that this is important to point out before we move on. So there are many different definitions of what a task is, but my favorite one is by Noonan, 1989, which says a communicative task is a piece of classroom work which involves learners in comprehending, manipulating, producing, or interacting in the target language while their attention is principally focused on meaning rather than form. The task also should have a sense of completeness, being able to stand alone as a communicative act in its own right. So when I implement TBLT with my students, we are focusing for the most part on meaning rather than form. Okay. And basically the way that I go through this is I start off with a warmer at the beginning of the class. After that, we move on to a task, right? So one of these communicative tasks, which focus on meaning rather than form. After that, we move on to teaching, which is where we focus on form rather than meaning. And then we move back to a task. And then after that, we finish up with the cooler. So that's the 5-stage process that I typically go through. By the way, if anybody is interested in learning more about this, I really suggest that you check out Ellis 2003. His book on task-based learning teaching has been really, really influential on me and how I create tasks, talking about focused tasks versus unfocused tasks, for example, and different examples of tasks. And the best resource I could suggest for people who are just getting started in teaching would be Willis and Willis 2007. Their book on doing task-based learning teaching is just fantastic, and I still go back to it, even though I needed it for my C-test. Well, I actually go back to it and refer to it to get inspiration and gain ideas. So any of those 2 resources I would suggest would be the best ones if you're interested in task-based learning teaching. Now, the reason why I like this methodology is because you start the class by allowing the students just to do something. They're not worried about their grammar. They're not worried about their form. And that is very important to me because for me, I do believe in the importance of the effective filter, as Krashen points out, Krashen 1989. And I think that the affective filter and the emotions of the student is very, very important. And I think that if we start the class from the very get-go, worrying about grammatical accuracy instead of communicating meaning, which is the primary, in my view, is the primary goal of language in the first place, I think that this could actually hinder their ability to communicate in a positive atmosphere where they feel at ease. So for me, it's the best of both worlds with task-based learning teaching. You start with a warmer, which is just a game in my idea of task-based learning teaching. After that, you move on to a task, right? So a communicative task, meaning focused. After that, you do teaching. And in this teaching segment, you do pay attention to the meaning. And most of the time, you actually correct an aspect of the original task. After that, with the resources that they have developed with exposure to teaching, to form focus, then they move on, they go back to the meaning focus, they go back to the task, and then they finish up with a cooler. In my view, it's the perfect balance. It doesn't work for every class. Every class is different and they have different needs. This may be different between IELTS versus general English versus conversational English. But either way, this works for me online with a lot of my italki classes. And today I'm going to show you an example with a group class.
There we go. All right. Week 2, minimalism. And this is class number 2. And in case if I ever forget to record, somebody please remind me. Okay, just tell me, Ryan, you got to record. Okay, that's for students who missed this class, students who may be interested in the free lessons, and for other teachers who want to see how I structure my lessons. Okay, so it will be posted on YouTube after each class, and you'll all go viral and be famous. All right, so we're going to start off with a recap of week 1, some introductions, topics, and homework. We're going to talk about minimalism. We'll go through the PowerPoint. We'll do an activity in a Google Doc. We'll have some breakout rooms. Well, we'll have one breakout room activity, and then we'll assign homework for next class. All right. And if any of you wonder where I get my beautiful slides, I get them from Slides to Go. This is not a plug. I'm not getting paid to say this. But yeah, you get free slides on there, and they're absolutely wonderful. Okay, great. So let's get started. I'm going to hide this part here because that's a little bit of a surprise. Oh no. Okay. All right. So a little bit of a recap from last week. First of all, rules and tools. The rules of my class. Rule number 1, and the most important, I use a lot of GIFs in my PowerPoints. I use too many. Sometimes I use them and they are not even appropriate. You don't get to judge me for that. And you don't get to judge me for the way I say GIF because some people say GIF. I know that's some people's choice as well. So aside from that, if you have anything to say, you could raise your hand. But honestly, I think right now we're at the point where we have few enough students that you could just chime in, come on the mic and chat. All right. As time goes on, if we get more students, we may have to tighten the reins a little bit. All right. I may have 15 or more students in this class at one point. And there are other teachers who wish to teach classes for free as well, particularly for lower level students, but not only for lower level students. So if any of you find this class like too hard, it's going too fast, I try to make it friendly for all levels, but if you feel that way, just let me know and I could refer you to another teacher and maybe you'll like their style a bit more. So yeah, that's that right there. Look, these are free classes. You have nothing to lose except for your time, and time is precious. Time is money. So I hope I don't waste that. You know, I'm here to motivate you. So the best thing that you could do in this class is to complete the homework, as a few of our students have already done, to show up, to let me know if you can't show up, right? And, you know, there's no pressure to show up. They're free classes, but I want what's best for you. So if I notice you're not here for a few classes, I may just like email you to check in to see if you're still interested. or not. Spread the word, right? Let your friends and family know and refer them. And that's pretty much it for the rules. Just participate and try your best. And I hope that this could help you no matter which level you're at. At one point, I will have some drop-in at the end and the beginning of class where people could just come in and ask me questions, kind of like a little coffee time. Tools. For those of you who I've been teaching for a while, you know the tools I use. I use Jamboard for a glossary. I use Kahoot for quizzes. You're going to see both of those today. I use Google Docs like a madman. You're going to see a lot of that in this course. I use Zoom, clearly, right? And I use Padlet. I use Flipgrid. Alexi's already tried out the Flipgrid. He was the first one in there, right? So another suggestion I have for you, dive in head first, try out something new. And if you have any questions about how to use these tools, I could refer you to a tutorial. And maybe I'll make some tutorials, make some videos, post them online, just so that you can kind of get used to these tools. Okay, good stuff. So that kind of covers the tools, that covers the course. The course, every class is going to be based on a different topic. Last time it was, what did we talk about last time, Alex?
I don't remember.
Ali? You don't remember?
Introduction maybe, no? Contracts and compares.
That was the grammar, that was more like the grammar vocabulary topic, but yeah.
You're talking about polyglots?
Exactly.
Yes, about many languages.
You got it. That's right. Yeah. Alex and I had a class today about it 30 minutes ago. So Alex has seen like enough of me today, but I'm happy you're here. So that's the course. Basically, I'm going to take attendance. Eventually, maybe we could even incorporate some grading potentially. But again, I don't want it to be too much like pressure. So we'll probably shy away from that. Okay, if you have any suggestions of things you would like to go over, let me know. But in terms of topics, that privilege is reserved for Kate, Alexi, and Luba. Congratulations. So I didn't mention this last class, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to say that the students who complete their homework, they get to choose the next task. Oh, sorry, the next topic, the topic for the next week. So I'm not going to punish anyone for not doing homework. They're free classes, but basically I want to give you a little bit of a reward. So, oh yeah, we have two Alexes. Okay, that's true, actually. That's a good point. Okay, so we have Alex T, okay, Turin, yes, and Turin. Alex N. Yeah, okay, great. Perfect. So Alex T, Alex N. So congratulations to Alex T, Kate, and Luba. Kate finished the blog post and she also did a Flipgrid, a little introduction. I know it's hard to introduce yourself and take a video for people you've never met. So well done. Alex did that as well. He was the first one in there, and Luba did it too. So here's what happened. If you have done the homework, I'm going to give you a few options that you could consider for the next week's topic, okay? You don't have to choose one of those. If you want, the three of you could contact each other via the Telegram chat, and you could choose a completely different topic. You could message each other throughout the class and choose a different topic, whatever you want. But that is your reward for doing the homework, okay? So basically, I'll send all three of you a topic, and I'll ask you to tell me your top 2 or 3 preferences. You each will email me back telling me what they are, and whichever one is the most popular, then I will choose. And if you choose it amongst yourselves beforehand, even better. All right, any questions? Okay, all right, great. Let's bounce. All right, so today we're going to start off with a little Kahoot. This is a quiz that we're going to do together. Basically, I create Jamboards with my students. This is the Jamboard right here for our class, and it's in the Padlet, just like everything else. It's your best friend. Last time in class, it was Alex N and Lisa and Irina. And we added a few new words, right? So this Padlet, sorry, this Kahoot is going to partially be based on those words that we added, okay? These are the words from this week. I should show you. Okay, I'm not going to ruin it because then you're going to know the answer for the Kahoot. So let me just log into my Kahoot right here. And we'll start this up. Just bear with me for a second. Whoops, sorry. Free classes with Ryan. So we're going to add on to this Kahoot as lessons go on. All right, so let's do start. Classic mode. I actually don't know what that even means. Okay, here we go. So what I'd like for you to do, oh my gosh. What I'd like for you to do is to enter this link right here. I'll send it to all of you. Beautiful. And I'd like for you to just input this game pin right here, like copy. Oops. There we go. This is the pin. You could all see it anyway. There we go. Okay. So you will enter there, you will enter the pin, and then you'll be asked to put a nickname, I believe. So slot in your nickname. Be any name you want. Love. I like that. I know who that is. All right. Perfect. So some people want to use this class to just kind of like hang back and relax. Some people want to be a little bit more active. So I'm going to wait a few more seconds just to see if anyone else wants to join. If not, that's okay. Okay, well, we have, okay, fantastic. We have the full house. All right, great. So let's get started. Okay. So basically, you're going to see a question here and you need to answer it on your screen. I really hope this works. So the first one, which collocation is correct? So you need to read these 4 collocations, and on your screen, you need to click red, blue, yellow, or green, depending on which collocation is correct. To have a heavy love for something, to have a deep love for something, have a shallow love for something, or to have a light love for something. Which one is the correct collocation? You have 3 seconds. Okay, great. I should have prepared you better before we started that. Only 4 of you were able to answer. I'm sorry, but but I'll get better with the timing as time goes on. All right, sweet. Great stuff. So most of you got that right. We have Kate, Fernanda, Love, and Alex T on board. Great. Go on to the next one. Which collocation is correct? She places the bar high for herself. She makes the bar high. She sets the bar high, or she flies the bar high. My advanced level students know I love collocations. Ooh, okay, all right. We have a little bit of a mixture. So yeah, we actually say to set the bar high, right? Good stuff. So that's one reason why it's good to check out our glossary after each class, because we put it here, to set the bar high. All right, let's move on. Next. So far, Kate just has it. All right. True or false? I hold ourselves to a high standard. This statement is grammatically correct. So if you say true, then it's correct. If you say false, it's incorrect. And as a bonus, I'd like for you to tell me what the correct variant is. But first, let's see how you do on this. Okay. 3 of you got it correct. So I'd like for one of you to come off mic and tell me what is the correct variant. What could you say instead of this? Any ideas? So what I'd like for you to do is to kind of transform this phrase to make it grammatically correct. Any ideas? I hold ourselves. What should you say? Not too sure? Well, somehow you all knew that, most of you knew that it was incorrect. Okay, so two options you have. I hold myself. We say I, we could use myself, right? And the other option is we hold ourselves, right? So there are two options there. All right, beautiful. Let's move on to the next one. And I think that's the last one. Love is in the lead. Whoa, on a hot streak. Okay. We gotta stop love. No, we don't. Which words could describe this room? Final question. Remember, you could put two options if you wish. Or answers. Silence is a killer. Whoa, look at that. Okay, cool. So we have 5 people who put, yep, the first one and the last one. I guess this is kind of dependent on your definition of clean or neat. For some people, this may not be clean or neat. So this is a little bit subjective, and we'll talk about that today. So let's have a look. This is the final podium. Fernanda, wow, 3,000. Kate, and who came in first? The one and only Love. All right, well done. Congratulations, everyone. So we'll do one of those every couple classes, okay? If you don't get them, don't worry about it. We always learn new words. By the way, if any of you want to test your vocabulary knowledge, I've made all of these Kahoots right here. Well, my students have made them with me. I have a little repository of Kahoots right here. So you could do that on your own time for free. You could find them in our Padlet. Okay, beautiful. Back to our PowerPoint presentation. Introduction to minimalism. Okay, so first let's start off with a couple activities. I want you all to put in the chat or to come off the mic, tell me some specific ways in which we could clean up this mess. How could we clean up this room? So tell me specifically what needs to be changed. You could type it in the chat or come on the mic.
We could grab the clothes.
We could grab the clothes, yeah, and do what with them, Kate?
Sort out, for example, in a closet.
Yeah, we could sort them out for sure, definitely. And we could put some things in their correct places. For example, I see a pillow on the ground. We could simply put that on the bed where it would typically be. That's good. Put it all in the garbage bin. Well, that would clean things up pretty quick, Alex. Yeah. Good stuff. Put it all in the garbage bin. Well, assuming we want to keep some of this stuff, what could we do? Which other things could we do? You could look at the desk, like how could we clean the desk up a little bit?
Collect all things to different boxes, closest to one box, things from the table to other box.
Exactly. Yeah, spot on. That's right. Yeah, just get something to organize this. You could get a cabinet, for example. Yeah, that's right. Okay, fantastic. That's good. Let's go on to the next picture. How could we organize these tasks? So I'd like for you to look at the tasks and think about the ways that we could maybe kind of categorize these things. How could we organize these tasks?
We can organize it with colors of the sticks. We can organize it by the priority of the information.
Now we're thinking, and, yes. Perfect.
About the to-do list, in one place, and time or schedule to another place. Food, what else? Sport, party,